Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Stammen, or Miss Stammen, and I'm so excited to meet you, even if it is virtually. So I'm excited to kind of go over everything and kind of clarify how our classroom is going to be run and how things are going to work. So let's go ahead and get started. The page that you're looking at right now, this is our classroom parent page. So this is for you to access anytime. It's something that I'm going to be updating frequently throughout the year to keep you in the loop with everything that's going on, whether that be posting, a little newsletter at the beginning of every month, posting video tutorials on how to log in or access certain sites, or just, any important information that is told to us, I will tell you through here. So I'm really excited to be utilizing this tool to make this transition into distance learning a lot easier for all of us. So if you look here, we are on the home page. So as you scroll down, these little images here are clickable links. So if you wanted to go to my About the Teacher page, you can click there. Our school website, the parent portal, it will take you to Infinite Campus, which is another way that we're going to be able to communicate this year. Google Classroom will take us to the online learning tab, which will kind of explain how we're going to be utilizing Google Classroom for learning this year. We also have schedule, calendar, class norms, and contact. So these are just quick links that you can access to go to those different pages. Again, here's the welcome letter, but I won't really bore you with reading that. But it's just kind of welcoming us back to the year and all that good stuff. So I'm going to have us go through all the tabs together and kind of see what those are all about. So I guess I'll begin with About the Teacher. So like I said, my name is Megan Stammen. This is my second year teaching, and I'm so happy to be at Banyan and to be in third grade. I love third grade. It's such a fun year. They're learning so many things, and yeah, I'm just excited to be able to teach third grade again. So here's just a picture of me with our two other lovely third grade teachers. Um, Me and my boyfriend Hunter, my dog Elsie, and me and my parents. So just a little about me. Like I said, I'm my second year teaching. I graduated from Cal State Fullerton, and my previous experience has been as a reading intervention teacher with Fountain Valley School District. And just like my students, I'm going back to school in the fall to earn my master's in educational technology and instruction, also at Cal State Fullerton. So once a Titan, always a Titan. Um, oh, and something really exciting that happened for me is I last year was commuting to Rancho from Huntington Beach, which was kind of far, doable, but far. So I'm happy to say that I was able to move closer so now I'm in Diamond Bar. So my commute is much better and it just makes me really happy. Um, I also love going to the beach. I enjoy yoga and I've now become a plant lady. I have many plants. So that's something that I've been enjoying doing. So let's move to our back to school tab. And as we go here, this has our little kind of digital, so this would be something that would be printed in class, but our digital flip book to talk about our schedule, expectations, enrichment, which I'll go more in depth with, grading policy, and then topics that we're going to be studying this year. So what's really cool is these are all clickable. So I'm actually going to make this bigger for us. There we go. So I'm going to start first with our schedule, which is very important. So as you're looking here, it's kind of a lot, but I'll kind of break it down. So Monday is now our modified minimum day. So students will have kind of PE from 8:30 to 9, and then we will begin our day at 9. And that will be starting with math. So as we can see, as we go down, we have math from 9 to 10:20. And then we have our recess, which is 10:20 to 10:35. Then when we come back from that, we will go into ELA or language arts, which will be 10:35 to 11:45. That takes us into lunch. So lunch on Monday is 11:45 to 12:30. And then when we return, we'll finish our day with social studies, science, and our social emotional learning component. And we will have dismissal at 1:30. So that's what Monday will look like for us. And now when we look at Tuesday through Friday, those have the schedule is the same for those 4 days. Um, but what's different is we now will have our office hours Tuesday through Friday. So we'll begin with office hours at 8:30 to 9, and that will be your time to contact me with any questions that you may have. Scheduled Google Meets, and this can be also check-ins with students. So this is just the time for me to be here for you and to help you in any way that I can. We'll then go into math, which again is 9 to 10:20. We'll have our recess, which is 10:20 to 10:40. We will continue math for another 20 minutes after that, and then start ELA at 11. And then that will take us into lunch. And so lunch Tuesday through Friday is 10:20 to 1:05. And then we will come back and finish the day with social studies, science, and our social emotional learning. And dismissal will be at 2:05. And so that is when instruction will end for the day. Again, like I said, we have office hours 8:30 to 9, Tuesday through Friday. We also have office hours from 2:05 to 3, Tuesday through Friday. So we start the day with office hours and we'll end the day with office hours. And again, that is your time to reach out to me with anything that you may need or any questions you may have. And so that's just kind of a look at our schedule. I do just want to let you know we're not going to be on our computers for 80 plus minutes as a whole class. I will be breaking up instruction for whole group to small group just because it is hard. Like it's going to be a transition for our students. And just like I would in any normal school day in my classroom, we will be having brain breaks, utilizing Go Noodle, because it's going to be a lot of sitting. It's just going to be very different than our traditional way, and that's okay. We're going to work through it and make it work. So once you look at that, you can go back to our main page, and let's go right into our expectations. So again, even though our students are at home, there are still expectations that need to be met, because even though it's virtual, it is going to be our classroom. So I'm just going to kind of read through them right now. So assignments need to be completed in a timely manner. Students need to be respectful, be kind, and be safe. It's important for them to sit in a quiet spot in your house with limited distractions and background noise. So this is very important, especially during our whole group instruction and small group. When we're on Google Meets, that's our time to limit those distractions. So if they need to, I recommend wearing headphones. Those are super helpful if you have them or if you need to use them. For students, again, when they come onto their Google Meet, they need to keep themselves on mute until it is their turn to speak or to be called on. And if they have a question, raising their hands. They need to be on time. This is key. Again, since it is virtual, it's a little different. So we need to be mindful of our schedule and when we need to come on for these Google Meets. Make sure that siblings and pets know not to interrupt you during this time. Make sure they are dressed appropriately. So we are in school, even if it is virtual, I'll be dressed in my nice teacher clothes. So they need to be dressed in school appropriate clothes as well. Be respectful and use school appropriate language. Be ready with the needed materials. Make sure to stay in one spot and sit still during our meeting. And then last but not least, we are a class family. So we treat each other with respect and kindness. And this is something that is very important to me. I want to create a learning environment that makes students feel safe, respected, and they feel like they have the ability to share and contribute without worrying, without worrying of, being treated unkindly. So Those are just a brief overview of my expectations. There is also a class expectations page that goes more in depth with these as well. So we'll go back to the main page. And now we're going to look at enrichment. So enrichment is now our kind of homework, but we're not assigning homework. So these are just going to be recommended activities, but not mandatory. These will just be things that will help your child in the long run and just be beneficial. So we recommend that they read independently for at least 30 minutes, whether it is by themselves or with a parent guardian. Again, like I said, I will not be assigning nightly homework. Students will be working at home for the whole school day. I don't think it's fair to make them do homework after that because they just are going to be working so hard. So some other enrichment activities would be typing. We are going to be doing a lot of typing, so that is a skill that they will need to practice. And then their math facts. So these are, again, recommended but not mandatory. This is important though. So if classwork for the day is not completed during the allotted school time, then they will need to finish their assignments by the end of the day and turn them in to receive full credit. So again, this is kind of would be like an actual class. We need those assignments that are assigned to be completed in a timely manner. So instead of, again, doing homework, if they are unable to finish it during the school day, then they may continue and finish it by the end of the day. So now we're going to go to our grading policy. So again, we utilize standard-based grading. So that just kind of means, in our little chart here, many grades per subject. The grades based on mastery of a single learning target, clear learning goals, and precise feedback. And so that's kind of why we use standard-based grading. So assignments, quizzes, and tests will be graded during distance learning. It is important for students to complete their assignments for the day week. Participation will also be a grade, which it is expected they need to attend all of their scheduled Google Meets. So that's key. Of course, we want them to complete the assignments, but we also need them to be at the Google Meets. Those are very important because we are going to be giving live instruction during those as well. And as you can see, there's the grading scale there. So 4 is exceeds standard, 3 meets standard, 2 is approaching, and 1 is below. So we'll go back. And our last one is just kind of a brief topics we'll study. So if you see in math, we have operations and algebraic thinking, so multiplication and division. Multiplication is huge in 3rd grade. We have numbers and operations in base 10, so place value, all that good stuff, fractions. And then in ELA, so we have, literature and then informational text, the different things that they need to know for those. Social studies, geographical features, Native Americans, community, American symbols and landmarks. And then if we look at science, molecules and organisms, ecosystems, forces in motion, weather and climate. So a lot of really fun topics. And again, 3rd grade is a very important year. It's kind of in that middle between, they're no longer primary, but it's like that stepping stone into the upper grade. So it is a big jump for them, and there is a lot expected of them now in 3rd grade. And so, like I said, I'll be here to help support you and support them kind of as we navigate that. So again, this is just our little flip book, and I have it on the back to school page, so you're able to reference that at any time that you need. If you scroll down, you'll see more detailed of our Common Core standards. These mostly focus on math and ELA, and it says the different learning targets, and skills that they will need to have. So that was our back to school tab. So that's kind of really most of the things you would need to know about our class. If we go to schedule, again, I just have another quick link that shows us our daily instructional schedule for distance learning. If you go to classroom expectations, again, like I said, this just goes more in depth with what we expect in the classroom and what needs, how we need to act. So some examples is we believe in ourselves, we have a positive attitude, We look out for each other. We include everyone. We use our time wisely. So these are just norms that, again, that I will be introducing to your children, my students, on those first, few days, weeks of school. Again, I have uploaded the Google Meet expectations, and this was something that went home in your parent packet, which you picked up on Monday. So it has our do's, and our don'ts, and then just reminders for guardians, and kind of like how, our Google Meets need to be. So those are our classroom expectations under our online learning tab. So this kind of goes more in depth on how we're going to be utilizing Google Classroom. So if you scroll down here, students will access all of their assignments through Google Classroom. I've attached a screenshot of one of our Google Classroom home pages. This is their homeroom where we will start class every day. So this screenshot right here is where we will start every day at 9 a.m. They will come, they will click our Meet link, which is right here, and we will start our day. Across the top, so if you're looking at that screenshot, you will see stream and classwork. So this will be on every Google Classroom your child is in. They'll have those two tabs. So the stream is where all posts made by me will be seen, but classwork will have all the assignments kind of organized into different categories more weekly. So that's where you would want it, where your child will need to go to access the assignments and materials they need. Below our homeroom title on the left, there is a small box titled Upcoming. And so this will list all the assignments that are going to be due for that classroom. So if I scroll down, and hopefully you can see my mouse, this is right here, Upcoming. And so it will have the assignments that are going to be due for that Google Classroom there. Students will be invited to the following Google Classrooms. We have Homeroom, Math, ELA, and Science Social Studies. Their assignments will be categorized under each classroom for that subject. And then we will be having multiple Google Meets every day to provide instruction. These will include whole class and small group Google Meets. Students will need to be mindful of the times that are scheduled for Google Meets and keep a schedule easily accessible or printed next to their computer they will be using. This is key. Again, it's going to be an interesting transition, and I completely understand. But as we're going to be practicing in those first few weeks, they need to be able to come at the scheduled times. That's very, very important. So yeah, that is that for Google Meet and Google Classroom. And again, at the bottom, I have two buttons for schedule again and calendar. So if you need to reference those. We go here, we have student spotlight. So this is something that once we begin the year and we figure out how to do Bulldog of the Week, we will have our student spotlight. So that will be really fun. I'm excited for that. And then if you go to the More tab, you will see calendar. And so this will link all of our assignments from our Google Classroom. So our homeroom, math, ELA, social studies, science, and then social emotional, they will all be linked here for you to see, which will be awesome because if you ever need to check what assignments your child still needs to do or when they're due, they will show up here on the calendar. And it will just make it a little more easily accessible as well. And then the final page is Contact Me. And again, just my contact information, which lists my office hours, my email, our school phone number if you need to call me over the phone, that's completely fine as well. And then just our school address. So again, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help and assist in any way possible. So that is pretty much our classroom website for you to access. If you ever need any information, it will all be posted here. Again, we have our Clever, which many students are familiar with this. We use it a lot for them to stay logged into their different websites. So this will be our classroom page. As you can see, we have Accelerated Reader, Freckle, Flipgrid, Google Classroom, Extra Math. These are all websites that we're going to be using frequently this year. And so once they log into Clever, that logs them into all of these sites. which makes it a lot easier to get to each one. So you don't have to remember every single login or type in a bunch of different website addresses. They're all going to be here on the Clever page. So we love that. So that's there. And then if you look here, I just wanted to show you, I have created, theirs will look a little different. They won't have some of these classrooms, but we have, again, our homeroom, math, ELA, science and social studies. So if I were to click here, it will take them to their homeroom page. And they can go to stream, which shows everything, or they can go to classwork, and it will have all the assignments here for them to see. So again, if you have any questions about how to utilize Google Classroom, I'm always here. Hopefully this presentation was helpful. I think, it's definitely going to be interesting, like I said, this year, but I'm here to make it as easy as possible and to help as much as possible. So it was nice meeting you again through a computer screen nonetheless, but still we're making it work, and I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to have your child in my class, and I'm excited for all the memories we're going to make, because it's definitely going to be a memorable one. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you and see you soon. Bye.